Listen to Me, tu show político comunitario comienza ahora en el 2020.
Let's get ready for the roaring 20s.
Hello, good afternoon, people. This is the program Listen to Me, Spanish and English program that we're going to talk about politics and conservative values. Have a wonderful afternoon. Hope everything is going good. And today we have a wonderful opportunity to express the situation of Venezuela and Puerto Rico. We're going to have a conversation with some women in Venezuela that they are working for a new generation and working for a new beginning from the pre-poor place. They're going to talk about the expectations and the situation that in Venezuela is happening right now. Bueno, mi gente, espero que tengan una feliz tarde. Y justamente hoy vamos a tener con nosotros el boutique de los pobres, justamente del Estado Vargas. Buenas tardes, ¿cómo se encuentran?
Buenas tardes. ¿Nos escuchan?
Aló.
Tiene un cuadro de hijos, tiene una casa que está cayendo. Buenas tardes, ¿nos escuchan?
Aló.
Buenas tardes, señora Nathalie, ¿cómo está usted?
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo están por allá? Saludos de la ciudad de Orlando, de los Estados Unidos, de la Florida, ¿cómo se encuentran?
Muy bien, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Bueno, ya habíamos coordinado este enlace con personas de Venezuela, con una pequeña organización que hay en Venezuela que se llama la Fundación La Boutique de los Pobres. Estas son unas damas que son enfermeras, que se llaman las Damas de Blanco. Ellas ayudan a los más necesitados dentro de sus posibilidades, que son bien pocas. ¿Con quién estamos hablando en este momento?
Con la señora Luz del Valle.
Señora Luz del Valle, háblenos de su organización. ¿Qué es lo que ustedes hacen?
La organización fue fundada en el 2017 por un grupito de 7 personas. Okay. Pero debido a que nosotros entregamos ropa de segunda mano, pero debido a que la gente hoy en día, la situación obligó a que la ropa pasara de familia en familia, porque no hay recursos para comprar ropa. Hay gente que tiene hasta 10 y 15 años que no compra un par de zapatos. Okay. Ahora le voy a hacer, señora Nathalie, ¿me permite hacer un resumen?
Claro que sí, háganos un resumen, claro que sí.
Mira, nosotros pensábamos hablar uno por uno, pero le voy a decir una cosa. Señora, aquí, la necesidad de nosotros, yo creo que ustedes la saben más que nosotros, porque miren, pero cada día se agravan más las necesidades aquí. Tenemos un poco de personas débiles porque no tienen que comer, tienen la glicemia en 6. Le voy a hablar sobre el gas. El gas llega cada 3 meses y nos daban 2 bombonas, nos vendían, ahora nos van a vender una. El agua la tenemos hace 3 años que no tenemos agua. Tenemos que pagar agua a 4 bombonas por $1. La medicina no hay, y si las hay, a precios locos. La electricidad se va cada rato y nos queman los televisores, nos queman los teléfonos, la TV y los frises. Wow. La ropa, los zapatos, nos hace difícil comprarla. Hay niños que andan desnudos en la calle y hay personas que andan desnudas en su casa, hasta en Bluma, porque no tienen ropa que ponerse. Los transportes no hay con qué pagar efectivo, porque los bancos no abren. Yo tengo 5 meses que tenemos 5 meses, los viejitos, que no cobramos pensión. Wow. La bolsa de alimentos llegan físicas cada 2-3 meses. Y cuando llegan con una masa mala, con una leche que da diarrea y con unos alimentos de peor calidad. Ese es el resumen. Ahora, lo que nosotros necesitamos, no se lo vamos a explicar, señora, porque usted lo sabe. Le voy a poner a la palabra a un señor que tiene necesidad de que ustedes los ayuden y él...
Doña Luz, le quiero hacer, bueno, el propósito de hacer esta entrevista es eso mismo, es de que las personas aquí en Orlando sepan, ¿verdad? Aunque muchos lo sabemos ya, pero queremos que aquí la gente sepa cómo ese grupito de ese barrio, de ese puntito de Venezuela que se llama La Guaira, las necesidades que ustedes están pasando, como muchos pueblos más que hay en Venezuela, que lo sabemos, pero queremos, ¿verdad?, que las personas que están aquí en Orlando de alguna forma se enteren de verdad lo que está pasando realmente en Venezuela o en una parte de Venezuela. Entonces, ¿quién es el señor que va a hablar ahora?
Es un señor que le hicimos una entrevista esta mañana.
Ajá.
Y las 3 personas que fueron se le aguaron los ojos de ver las necesidades del Señor.
Wow.
Y fuimos casi una señora que son un matrimonio y se nos aguaron los ojos que la señora tiene la glicemia en 3 y no, la hemoglobina en 6 y no come y no come porque lo poco que le entra. Entonces lo que hicimos fue mandarle un poquito de loratadina y ácido fólico que le habían mandado. No lo pudo comprar porque no tiene real y no los he mandado.
Santiago, ¿le quiere hacer una pregunta a ellos?
Ahora, es que sí. No, sigue hablando, señora Luz.
Sigue hablando, señora Luz.
Bueno, el problema es, mira, hay que ver las cosas para que se entiendan. Llegamos a una señora que está en cama y necesita pañales urgentemente. Yo le ofrecí recogerle entre todas, a ver si le compramos un paquete de pañales. La señora, una mujer joven, una mujer emprendedora, costurera, hace cojines, hace sábanas, está en cama y no se ni se para. Entonces, estos son casos y casos. Entonces, en verdad, yo no sé cómo explicarte, porque nosotros se nos aguaron los ojos de ver, como no habíamos salido a hacer entrevistas, la señora Denny, la señora Ana y la señora Francis se le aguaron los ojos de ver los problemas. Ahora, el problema que más me llenó de inquietud fue el de la señora con la glicemia en 6. La señora, la hemoglobina necesita.
Ella no está comiendo.
No está comiendo, pero si nosotros le damos cada 15 días o cada mes una bolsita puede hacer, y la bolsita física que le vende el gobierno puede hacer que cambie la vida de ella.
Wow, bueno.
Y después el otro caso fue la familia de Adrián, el señor Freddy. El señor Freddy, un cuadro de hijos. Yo le pregunté a ellos que cómo comen. Un cuadro de hijos. Me dice, bueno, nosotros cargamos agua de los chorros, que se está botando el agua en cualquier parte, y nos dan $1 por 4 bombonas. De 4 bombonas son 80 litros de agua, son 20 y 20 y 20. O nos dan 2 comidas, que son 2 kilos de comida por estas bombonas. Con eso nosotros nos ayudamos.
¿Y cuántas personas son? ¿Cuántas personas son en la familia del señor Freddy?
8 son, y la esposa y el esposo, y tienen 20 años casados.
Oh, wow.
El señor está aquí. Quería,
mire,
mi compañero le va a hablar.
Luz, ¿cómo está? Buenas tardes, Dios la bendiga.
Buenas tardes.
Saludos a toda la comunidad allá del estado Vargas y bueno, justamente de La Guaira, un saludo desde acá. Y aquí justamente lo que estamos haciendo es integrar voluntades, es conectarnos para poder ayudar sus necesidades y poder saber cómo guiar esta grave situación que está viviendo nuestro pueblo, ¿no? Y se trata de eso, se trata de que en espacios como este ustedes puedan expresarse, puedan contar lo que está pasando. Y bueno, de verdad que estamos muy conmocionados, pero a la vez también agradecidos por su testimonio.
Nosotros hablar una de la columna.
Ajá, tienen que bajarle volumen al televisor, ¿cierto? Ajá.
No tenemos televisor abierto.
Para que puedan seguir hablando. Pero de verdad que
ese sonido que se escucha, pues.
Muchísimas gracias por
En la calle, pues nosotros estamos frente a la casa de nosotros.
Ok. No, bueno, de verdad que muchísimas gracias por su palabra. Por su... No, y así es. Aquí justamente tomamos su testimonio y aquí un grupo de gente de bien vamos a estar ayudando justamente a esa comunidad. Y lo importante es que sigamos en contacto y que podamos seguir conversando y seguir denunciando todo lo que está pasando en Venezuela, que son violaciones gravísimas de los derechos humanos y que tienen que ser restituidos con el tiempo.
Doña Luz, nos hacemos, ¿verdad? Nos comprometemos aquí nosotros, para mandar ayuda, para enviarle las ayudas que podamos. Vamos a hacer todos los esfuerzos, todo humanamente posible para mandarle ayuda a todos ustedes, para colaborar, aunque sea con un granito de arena, que sabemos que hay muchas necesidades, pero nosotros vamos a tratar de hacer un granito de arena para ayudar a esa comunidad de ustedes. Y vamos a seguir comunicándonos todas las semanas para ver qué está pasando y de qué forma podemos poder ayudarlos, ¿ok?
Señora Nathalie, le diré, el señor Freddy me dice que sale a las 4 a las 3 con los hijos cargados a las 4 para llevarlo al periférico. Él me dice, si a futuro tú llegas a conseguir un nebulizador, te agradezco que me lo hagas llegar.
Un nebulizador.
Nebulizador, ok.
Nebulizador.
El señor Freddy me dice,
Son niños
acá tu hijo a las
asmáticos.
4 a las 3. Y el otro día venía del hospital con el hijo, las medicinas, y le robaron hasta el teléfono a las 4 de la mañana.
Caramba, caramba.
Imagínate.
Y me dijo, y me dijo,
el hijo que lo estaban viendo.
ok, no se preocupe que nosotros estamos apuntando todo y vamos vamos a hacer todo lo humanamente posible
De
para enviar
antemano le damos la bendición, aquí le damos la bendición
Gracias.
a ustedes
Gracias,
de lo que
gracias.
puedan hacer por nosotros y muy agradecido. Escúchame, no vamos a explicarte más de lo que necesitamos porque de antemano tú sabes todo lo que necesitamos.
Claro que sí.
Bueno,
claro que
un
sí.
gran abrazo.
Muchísimas gracias.
Un
Dios
gran
los
abrazo.
bendiga.
Bendiciones para todos ustedes. Vamos a estar comunicándonos muy pronto otra vez con ustedes y esperamos, ¿verdad?, que en la medida que se pueda poder ayudarlos.
¿Crees que podamos poner una persona que te hable?
En este momento, claro, sí, dígame, ¿quién quiere hablar?
Hola, buenas tardes, ¿cómo está?
Buenas tardes, ¿cuál es su nombre, señora?
Mire, le habla la Magíster Mari Violeta.
Ok.
Yo le quería hacer un breve resumen con respecto a los medicamentos que necesitamos. Voy dictando para ganar tiempo. Captopril, coraspirina, pasta al agua, omeprazol, glimepir, carvedilol, losartán, enalapril, povidine, agua oxigenada, antialérgico,
Bendito.
bisfenol,
Señora María, vamos a hacer una cosa.
Tienen que mandar todo
Sí,
eso,
mire, vamos a hacer una
mándelos para
cosa.
tenerlo nosotros acá.
A mi número de teléfono, usted me van a enviar ese listado de todos esos medicamentos y nosotros vamos a hacer todo lo humanamente posible por enviar los medicamentos que podamos conseguir como donativo. Envíemelo, la señora Luz, que me lo envíe ese listado y nosotros vamos a hacer todo lo humanamente posible por conseguirlo. Sabemos que necesitan medicamentos, sabemos que necesitan comida, sabemos que necesitan ropa y de eso se trataba esta entrevista de hoy para poderlos ayudar y que aquí las personas sepan, el pueblo sepa aquí en Orlando, Florida, que ustedes tienen una necesidad y los vamos a ayudar. Créanme que nos comprometemos a ayudarlos, ¿oyó?
Bueno, muchísimas gracias.
No,
Hasta luego.
gracias a usted, hasta luego.
Un
Hasta luego,
abrazo,
Dios
un
los
abrazo
bendiga.
para todos. Dios los
Dios los
bendiga.
bendiga.
Buenas
Hasta luego.
tardes.
Igualmente. Gracias.
Bye. Bye. Dios los bendiga.
Well, here we have a pretty bad situation. It's about Venezuela. This phone call is about Venezuela and how horrible is the socialist right there. People don't have food, don't have medicines, water. Right now, water is an essential human right, but well,
Bueno.
about socialists, Venezuela doesn't have water, and that's something unbelievable. A rich country with petroleum, with minerals, and several things that Venezuela could be the richest country in Latin America. Right now, it's the poor country in Latin America. Quiero dar unas palabras justamente, bueno, a esto, lo que hemos vivido. Y justamente toda la semana he recibido algunas notificaciones y muchísimos mensajes por Facebook. Y muchas personas me han escrito. Eso fue hace más o menos como unos 5 días. Yo tuve una experiencia con una muchacha que ella me escribía desde Colombia, desde Cúcuta. Y toda su familia, bueno, desplazada, como los venezolanos somos ahorita los segundos, terceros inmigrantes, ¿no?, de mayor afluencia en el mundo. Y ella me escribió y me dijo, mira, de verdad me tomó mucho eso, esas palabras que me dijo, porque me estaba explicando cómo nos podíamos organizar. Y hay algo que ahorita yo lo voy a decir con mucha responsabilidad, y estando aquí yo en los Estados Unidos, al igual que muchísimas millones de personas que han tenido por obligación que salir de Venezuela, yo llamo justamente a un poco a la cordura, a la responsabilidad de los que estamos fuera de Venezuela, los que están dentro de Venezuela. Creo que no debemos seguir tomando el atajo y la ruta de la fantasía. Hay que pisar firme, hay que ser sinceros. Y nosotros somos los que vamos a generar el cambio. El cambio está en nosotros. El cambio no está en la ruta de esperar por alguien más o por la decisión de terceros. Exacto. Si nosotros no cambiamos, no va a cambiar nadie. Y Luz Mary, justamente fue esta muchacha de 27 años que me escribió desde Cúcuta. Me dice, Santiago, yo me quisiera unir a lo que tú estás proponiendo, de verdad, de una buena voluntad, con múltiples factores de todos lados, ¿no? Que queremos encauzar una nueva visión en Venezuela. Pero me dice, ¿cómo yo puedo hacer, siendo una persona pobre, que mis padres son agricultores, yo no tengo profesión y yo quiero darle un porvenir a mi niño, un niño de 2 años que tiene? Y voy a tocar un poco mi parte familiar, privada. Uh-huh. No la suelo comentar mucho, pero bueno, uh-huh. no es privado. Fíjate, y ojalá me estés viendo en este momento. Como muchos venezolanos, yo vengo de una familia de inmigrantes. Mis abuelos llegaron a Venezuela provenientes de la Unión Soviética, de un lugar llamado Stavropol en Rusia. Y al llegar a Venezuela no sabían que ni siquiera iba a llegar a Venezuela, no sabían ni siquiera el español. Era gente que desconocía totalmente la cultura venezolana y bueno, sin embargo el país le abrió las puertas y pudieron desarrollarse ahí. Ahí mi madre y mis 2 tíos pudieron crecer, fueron profesionales y bueno, y ahí nacimos nosotros, ¿no? Como familia. Y esos valores de casa que sí fueron grandes para guiar un camino de estudios, de ser profesional y de cualquier otra disciplina, ¿no? Lo importante es, tú tienes que creer en ti y de verdad la visión que desde aquí proponemos y la que tenemos que generar en todos lados, fuera de Venezuela y obviamente dentro de Venezuela, porque si no, no vamos a lograr el cambio que queremos, es tú lo puedes lograr. Tú lo puedes lograr con tu trabajo, con tu disciplina, tú lo puedes lograr. Tú me dirás a lo mejor que yo estoy aquí en esta radio ahorita, comiendo mis 3 comidas al día, teniendo muchísimas cosas que mayoría de venezolanos no tienen. Pero vuelvo a decir las palabras de Francisco de Miranda: el tamaño de tu esfuerzo, el tamaño de tu éxito. De verdad, dejemos la fantasía. Es algo que yo quería decir desde hace unos días. Dejemos la ruta de la fantasía y vamos a unirnos con la lógica. Somos nosotros los que nos vamos a salir de este desastre. No hay que esperar por más nadie. Entonces, qué bonito es que nos podamos organizar como comunidad. No critico a las personas que viven en Miami para nada, pero no vamos a generar el cambio reuniéndonos en el arepazo allá en Miami, hablando, comiendo con muchas cosas y muchas comodidades. Santiago. Qué bonito es organizarnos, pero que la ayuda y que la organización sea en Gramovén, en Katia, en Nuevo Horizonte, en Casalta, en Petare. Qué bonito que la ayuda esté en todos los rincones de Venezuela. Y aparte la ayuda intelectual que podamos tener y desarrollar. Porque esta desgracia, estos 20 años de fracaso de un gobierno ineficiente, pero también de una oposición que no ha entendido cómo desarrollar la estrategia para poder tener algo mejor. Y es eso. Invito justamente, y es de este espacio, que ojalá pueda muchísimo replicar el mensaje. Invito a que nosotros llevemos un mensaje de sinceridad, pero un mensaje serio, responsable y real. Porque ya basta, ya está bueno de la fantasía de esperar unos aviones que lleguen o levantar el teléfono y llamar a Trump para que lleve unos marines. No, de verdad que no. Tenemos que ser muy sinceros, sé que la verdad duele, pero tenemos que prepararnos en conocimiento, en habilidades, en todo, porque todos suman. Como esa muchacha que es agricultora, aquí necesitamos de todos para sacar este país adelante. Porque requiere de múltiples disciplinas. Venezuela requiere de muchísima diversidad para poder llevar al país a donde merece y donde con todos los recursos que tiene puede estar. Solamente está en nosotros desarrollar el país que creemos y que es. El detalle, cómo lo desarrollamos. He ahí mi mensaje. Dios bendiga a todos los que están fuera de nuestras fronteras y los que están adentro llevando la gota gorda ahorita. Dios los bendiga. Vamos a unirnos para surgir. Es mi palabra.
Santiago, de lo que tú estás hablando ahora mismo, pues mira, qué bueno que tú estás diciendo eso, porque bueno, yo ahora voy a decir de la llamada que tuvimos ahora, se trata de esto mismo. Mire, yo trabajo como todo el mundo, como trabaja Santiago, como trabajamos todos, y yo estoy haciendo un esfuerzo grande, ¿verdad? Porque lo estoy haciendo con todo mi amor. ¿Por qué? Bueno, yo también tengo familia en Venezuela, que yo vivo aquí en los Estados Unidos hace muchos años, pero también sé de la necesidad. Y por eso me inquietó de irme a recoger comida a las iglesias, pedirle ropa a todo el mundo que no usen, que la gente aquí bota la ropa. Entonces, como dijo esa muchacha, ¿cómo ayudo? Pues mire, yo le digo a ustedes hoy, todos los venezolanos, puertorriqueños, colombianos que estén ahora mismo aquí, en este país, en este estado, donde quieran que se encuentren, por favor, miren, junten una cajita y envíenla a Venezuela a cualquier persona que necesite, porque en Venezuela hay mucha necesidad. Ahora mismo yo estoy recogiendo ropa y estoy pidiendo donativos para yo enviar esas cajas a Venezuela. No sé a quién le va a llegar, pero no importa, me voy a sentir feliz y voy a dormir tranquila que 4 cajas, 5 cajas, 6 cajas que yo mande con ropa, con comida, voy a ayudar a una familia. Todas estas personas con las que hablamos ahora mismo, no podemos ver todas las necesidades, pero yo les puedo asegurar a ustedes que hay muchas necesidades. Hay familias que no están comiendo, hay niños que no están comiendo, hay niños que no tienen ropa que ponerse. Y ahí es cuando viene lo que te dijo tu amiga, ¿cómo yo ayudo? Pues hay muchas personas que a lo mejor no tienen mucho, ¿verdad? Pero pregunten dónde pueden a dar un donativo, aunque sea de $5, porque con $5, si nos juntamos muchas personas, podemos hacer un gran cambio, como tú estás diciendo, Santiago, porque mientras que pasa un cambio en Venezuela, ahora mismo hay una necesidad, y yo creo que todos nosotros, todos que estamos aquí, con un granito de arena, todos hacemos una montaña. Entonces vamos a unirnos en ese esfuerzo aquí, los que estamos aquí, y vamos a ayudar a esas personas. Hay personas la señora me estaba dando un listado de medicamentos, la tuve que detener, le dije, mire, envíemelo. Vamos a hacer el esfuerzo de poder ayudar a estas personas. Claro que sí. Queremos hacerlo. Yo sé que hay muchas personas que me están ayudando y van a decir, bueno, ¿y cómo yo ayudo? Pues mira, llamen a J Rodríguez, llamen a esta emisora y pregunten cómo pueden ayudar. Créanme que hay muchas formas de ayudar. No importa lo que usted pueda dar, aunque sea una bolsa de ropa que ya no se ponga, tráigala, llámenos, avísenos y nosotros la buscamos y se envía para Venezuela, ¿no, Santiago? Uh-huh. Así también se puede ayudar.
Claro, es sumar voluntades, es sumar todo, ¿no? Es sumar justamente lo que podamos hacer, hacer un granito de arena, pero poco a poco, y con eso llevar una mayoría que en realidad genere un cambio.
Aquí hay muchos venezolanos, aquí en Orlando, precisamente en Orlando, donde estamos nosotros ahora, y se ven muchos venezolanos que yo oigo que van para los parques, que van a comer restaurantes. Mire, pues llámenos aquí, o comuníquese por uno de nosotros por Facebook y digan, mira, nosotros queremos ayudar. Y como venezolanos vamos a hacer esa diferencia, señores. Vamos a ayudar. Así usted no conozca a dónde va a llegar eso, pero usted sabe que eso va a llegar a Venezuela, porque vamos a pedir fotos, vamos a pedir evidencia de que eso está llegando. Y créanme que hay necesidad. Hay niños, óigame, hay muchos niños que ahora mismo necesitan de nosotros. Aunque sea $1 que demos cada uno, créanme que se puede hacer una cosa muy grande, aparte de todas las cosas, los problemas políticos que tengamos como venezolanos, que eso sabemos que, bueno, eso es una transición y es algo del día a día, que cuándo se va a cambiar no sabemos, pero mientras que eso cambia, Santiago, ¿no podemos hacer algo?
Claro. Right there is the thing, and we need to work in that way to break the system, the corrupt system and the socialist system is not working, and people are suffering, and every day we have a new problem. I talk right now in Spanish about a situation that happened to me a week ago. A lady right now lives in the border between Venezuela and Colombia. She's in Cucuta, and she sent me a message. She told me, Santiago, how I can help you? And I say, well, you have different ways to help me. But she told me something that I feel sad with that. She told me, Santiago, I'm pretty poor. I don't have anything. I have a child. I need to give support to my family. And I don't have anything. Please let me know. When I read that, I feel bad. I feel bad, and I try to think how I can say some words in this program right now about that kind of situation that is horrible. American people around the world, this thing could happen here also. It's not a false situation. Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and Latin America in general have a wrong vision. The vision of give me, give me, give me, and not work. Mm-hmm. What happened with that when you don't have work in your life? People is going to depend in only one way, and that way is the government. It's impossible to planify something in one way. We need to have different visions about work. Work, listen, is work. It's not free time. Free is nothing in life. When I hear about free food, free medicine, free scholar, that's impossible.
Eso no funciona.
That's impossible. I live like 3 years ago in a small island, ABC Island in the Caribbean, in Curacao. And in Curacao, I thought was a lie, but I received a bunch of Venezuelans crossing by boat. I thought only was the Cubans crossing from Cuba to Florida. Mm-hmm. And when I have that experience in Curacao, I say, it could be worse. 2 years ago and today, yeah, it could be worse. Situation could be worse every day if we don't stop. But we need to stop by ourselves. We need to stop with intelligence, not waiting for somebody else. I understand and I support here President Donald Trump because he is with the conservative vision. But for me, it's an irresponsible speech or situation to wait for Donald Trump to solve my problem. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy, and it's not responsible. For the leadership in Venezuela that maybe understand some words in English, why all the time say the same lie? Why all the time say tomorrow is coming, tomorrow is coming, tomorrow is coming, and it's not coming tomorrow? We need to organize our people. We need to organize our system that could work and break the corrupt system of Chavismo and Maduro system. We need to work together. But working is inside Venezuela and outside Venezuela. It's not possible to believe I'm going to break a Venezuelan government from here. Eating good food, taking a shower every day. No, that's not possible. That's not possible. That's a lie. That's a fantasy. And I don't want to live in a fantasy world. I want to be in the real world. The real world is Venezuela every day is getting worse. It's getting danger. People are suffering, are dying right there. So, what I'm going to do? Wait here, sit, take my popcorns, and eat and see the movie. That's not the way. I think we need to break that system. That's irresponsible, and people around the world that have a common vision, and more than a common vision, a logic vision, start working right now. Start working with initiative, integrity, good values, but now is the time to work. ¿Qué vamos a esperar más, venezolana que me estás escuchando? Esperar que venga un campamento de no sé de quién más y que esperemos el cambio mañana, que viene, los barcos están ahí estacionados porque van a rescatarnos. No. Si vamos a la lógica opositora, hay una ruta que no hay que ir a las elecciones. Y yo le voy a poner un caso muy importante, por eso lo importante de leer, lo importante de cultivar y saber qué ocurrió antes. No quedarnos en la historia, porque ya Bolívar, Miranda, Piar, todos nuestros próceres murieron, ya quedó en la historia. Pero sí saber que en otros lados, en condiciones, pero de la peor calaña, personas con inteligencia, que fueron políticos, surgieron y pudieron mediar una situación. Yo traigo el caso de Polonia. Qué importante fue justamente esa transición de ese sanguinario llamado Jaruzelski. Y un hombre inteligentísimo de la oposición, Lech Walesa, cómo pudo desarrollar su su línea estratégica. No le dieron nada, no había ni condiciones, el sistema estaba totalmente corrupto y era comunista. Pero la inteligencia, la política venció. Y él dijo, no, vamos por acá. No esperó a que viniera el mago, no sé, Trump, o viniera el mago Abracadabra y nos diera la solución. Porque ese es el problema cultural que tenemos. No, hay que esperar porque la comunidad internacional... No. La comunidad internacional afuera aplaude, dirá que no hay derechos humanos, que sí condena al régimen de Maduro. Es una presión que es muy importante. Pero el cambio lo vamos a ver es nosotros. Es imposible seguir creyendo que otro nos va a resolver nuestros problemas. Entonces, Venezuela hace muchos años tuvo un auge de muchísimas personas alrededor del mundo que, bueno, desastres de comunismo, de países del sur, Uruguay, Argentina, Perú, Chile, vinieron a nuestro país a buscar refugio.
Buscando refugio.
Y ahora, sí, los venezolanos están saliendo de todos lados como pueden. Antes de seguir hablando, yo quiero dejar una cosa que me llama mucho la atención y es sobre la situación del COVID, ¿no? De la pandemia. Obviamente que en Venezuela va a trascender el COVID, ¿no? Va a ser algo muy terrible de combatir y solamente por el hecho de que no hay agua. Un lugar donde no hay agua y bueno, imagínense, si no hay agua, menos jabón, ¿ok? Entonces, ¿qué va a suceder? Es obvio que va a suceder que va a incrementar los casos y va a ser un desastre. No tenemos un sistema de sanidad, ¿ok? Las políticas públicas en el área de salud son de la peor calaña, pésimas, no existen. Y lo principal, no hay agua. Al no haber agua, ¿qué hacemos? Yo creo que es irresponsable. Yo escuché a varios del gobierno chavista. Los casos importados. Mire, señor, de verdad. Ojalá que esto pueda escuchar alguna persona de allá del chavismo. ¿Qué interesa los casos importados? ¿Qué importa si viene de Colombia, de Perú, de Curazao, de Bonaire? ¿Qué interesa? Y lo peor, gente que repite, no, el caso importado de Colombia, el caso importado de Chile. No interesa el caso importado. No interesa el caso importado. Es lo que estamos viviendo, que obviamente en un desastre social, coyuntural, gubernamental, no existe ni razón, ni ninguna idea de medianamente algo de lógica de poder combatir esto.
Santiago, ya el desastre está pasando ya, lo que pasa es que lamentablemente no hay noticias que publiquen eso, recuerda.
No, es que esté bien, yo sé que obviamente no hay noticias de que publiquen nada.
Pero sí está pasando el desastre que tú estás diciendo.
Claro que está pasando, y es cierto. Y ahora pobre que tenga COVID allá en Venezuela, porque lo llevan para una perrera y le dan un pan con agua y ahí se quedó ahí.
Eso fue lo que supimos, sí, exactamente.
La gente que es de Caracas y sabrá lo que digo, ¿no? Hay una línea en Caracas que es la línea de los hoteles de Plaza Venezuela. Ahora, esos son los hoteles los
refugios para el COVID.
Los refugios para el COVID. Los refugios para el COVID. Entonces, cuando uno ve eso, en realidad, uno dice, ¿qué prefiero, tener COVID o irme a la perrera? Eso es al matadero. Entonces, de verdad que es algo que debemos justamente como sociedad, tanto afuera como adentro de Venezuela, de verdad, ¿qué vamos a esperar más? ¿Qué vamos a esperar más? ¿La imaginación? No. Yo creo que es momento de organizarnos y de saber qué vamos a hacer. Y bueno, justamente tener en participación la ciudadanía, diversos factores de la sociedad civil y ponernos a correr. No hay otra opción. O eso, o seguir el país en la mentira que ya lleva 20 años de fantasía en fantasía, en rutas erradas. Es el momento de actuar y es el momento de saber dónde y cómo será la dirección. En el programa de hoy justamente estamos esperando a J Rodríguez porque vamos a tener entrevistados. Justamente tenemos aquí una persona que está corriendo para el Senado de los Estados Unidos. Es de origen brasilero. Vamos a tener más contacto de él en unos minutos. También hay unas personas norteamericanas que nos están hablando justamente de cómo es la visión
Sí, tenemos
del
varios,
partido,
varios candidatos.
del partido republicano, y es justamente el venir, ¿no? de las elecciones, que la tenemos que preparar una vez y tenemos que concientizar a la comunidad hispana de lo importante que es el debate sano, con ideas concretas, pero decir la verdad, porque ahorita no hay rival del Partido Liberal. A mi juicio es un rival inexistente, porque cumple con los antivalores y no cumple con los valores de familia y de unión que se maneja este país, sus pilares son esos, son la familia, son la religión, son la unión. Y eso justamente es lo que tenemos que llevar diariamente a nuestras comunidades, aquí a la comunidad hispana, que es inmensa, pero tiene que ser concientizada. Ya basta de siempre buscar un atajo, o no, yo soy demócrata por esta situación, o yo voto por esta persona porque lo vi en la televisión. No, tenemos que formar una educación, una línea de aprendizaje donde nosotros sepamos qué es el Partido Republicano, qué diferencia el Partido Republicano del Partido Demócrata. Y vuelvo a repetirlo, comunidad hispana, latinoamericana en general, tenemos que saber a dónde vamos a ir direccionados, qué representa nuestro partido. Y al conocer y saber eso, podemos generar muchísimas otras cosas más. Mientras tanto, vamos a seguir siempre en la dádiva, vamos a seguir siempre a la visión de la otra persona, y no nosotros como comunidad vamos a ver qué podemos hacer y cómo podemos surgir como partido. Aquí estamos justamente esperando a Jay.
Vamos a darle la bienvenida
justamente
al
¿cuál es el
candidato
nombre?
Bruno,
Okay.
que se llama preséntese.
Preséntese usted, porque su apellido... Preséntese.
Muy buenas tardes a todos, mi nombre es Bruno Portigliatti. Un placer estar aquí con ustedes, gracias por la invitación.
Cuéntenos, candidato Bruno, que...
¿Vamos a hacerlo en español o inglés?
No, ahorita vamos a hacerlo justamente para la comunidad hispana. Si usted puede hablar en español, por favor.
Bueno, lo único es que mi español no es perfecto, entonces van a tener que
No.
ayudarme aquí con el español.
Claro que sí.
Muy bien.
No, pero para la comunidad hispana queremos, por favor, que usted hable.
Sí, claro, gracias, muchísimas gracias más una vez por la oportunidad. Como yo dije, mi nombre es Bruno Portigliatti, yo nací en Brasil y me crié en Brasil, vine a los Estados Unidos a los 11 años de edad, vine para la región de Orlando, de Dr. Phillips, y vivo aquí hace casi 21 años.
Ok,
sí.
Sí.
Estudié aquí, después fui para Tampa, estudié ciencias políticas y español, por eso hablo un poco español también.
Muy bien.
Y después hice leyes en Jacksonville y volví para Orlando para estar con la familia y con los negocios de la familia.
Qué bueno.
Entonces estoy de vuelta y aquí estamos.
Excelente, entonces un hombre de ley. Tenemos aquí corriendo a un hombre de ley. Yo estoy aquí revalidando las leyes.
Sí, qué bueno.
Y bueno, justamente entendiendo, ¿no? Y llevando siempre el mensaje todos los martes a la comunidad hispana, que es tan importante.
Sí.
Y bueno, but we're going to change in English and
no problem.
To understand exactly what is your vision, and please let us know the vision, the conservative vision that you have,
sure.
And what change you want to do for your...
Sure.
For your...
So I'm running for Florida House District 44,
okay.
Which is the Dr. Phillips, Windermere, Winter Garden, Ocoee, Gotha area. It also includes Oakland, all of Disney, Universal Studios, and SeaWorld. So basically the entire tourist corridor is inside of District 44.
Yes.
It's a very important district in the state of Florida because of the tourist corridor, because of the locations of different towns and cities within the district. And it has been a Republican stronghold since the very inception, since the beginning of the district. But in 2018, we lost it for the first time to someone who's on the far left, Representative Geraldine Thompson. So it was the first time that we lost the district. And quite frankly, we haven't had a whole lot of representation. And I believe that though I respect her, she's been in government for a long time, over 15 years in government. I think it's time for, fresh blood, fresh ideas, someone who's going to really get to work, who's going to really represent the community, who has a business mind, right?
Okay.
I think now more than ever, we need to focus on economic recovery and prosperity, right? Getting our economy back up and running. And
Well, here's Jay. Listen to me. The voice of listen to me right now. No, you can please. So
Bueno, vamos a dar la bienvenida a
Yeah.
J
Jay,
Rodríguez.
you need to say listen to me in with your voice. Hey, listen to me.
All right.
That's good. That's good, and it's important that you are running in a county that Brazilian city vote or population is important right there. What is exactly the part of Brazil that you come from?
I come from São Paulo.
Ah, São Paulo.
São Paulo.
Você é paulista?
Sou paulista.
Ah, paulista, bom.
E fala português também um pouquinho, hein?
Eu falo português, eu morei em Lisboa.
Você morou em Lisboa?
Sim, morei em Lisboa, sim.
Que legal,
Sim.
que interessante.
Muito obrigado. And this is important, and one aspect that is critical in your career for Sant is you come from a country that in that country born all the bad situation of socialists in South America.
Yes.
Foro de Sao Paulo is critical, and you come from Brazil. And what is exactly from your country you can say here in this program? What is the vision, the wrong vision of the socialists and the Foro de Sao Paulo?
What I would say is let's do exactly the opposite of every Latin American country. Exactly what they're doing, we do the opposite, and then we're going to be in a good position. If we look at countries that have followed that path, right? If we look at Venezuela, you were just talking about Venezuela.
Yep.
If we look at Bolivia, right? If we look at Argentina, for crying out loud, Argentina was going in a good direction, and then recently. Thankfully, in Brazil, recently we had a president elected who
Thanks
is,
God,
friends of Trump, friends of family, of conservative values. But he's being attacked every single day for those conservative values, for those family values, for those constitutional values.
So and pardoning to interrupt, but now the importance of having a 2-hour event like my radio program. Listen to me, and that's why if you're seeing a full house here today because we have candidates from other like yourself, other
Right.
candidates, and that is the importance. But anyway, I just want to say really quickly.
Yes, sir.
I need to say something really quickly. I need to please, if we could have a round of applause for my executive director of the Hispanic Republican Organization, because I think his eloquence in English and in Spanish,
Yes.
about his passion of what he spoke, because I was hearing it. I was listening to me. I was listening to myself. And I think that the passion that he exudes and he is putting into all these elections and what's occurring in his home country.
Yes.
So I want to, before all of that, I want to give, please, a round of applause for him. Como dicen en español, coño, te la comiste. All right. So,
He's good.
Yeah, oh yeah. My vice president, my vice chair, my executive director. Awesome choice. I'm blessed by God
Amen.
to have given them towards me, so I could be a better person, and the Hispanic Republican Organization could be a better person.
Wonderful.
My dear brother, your candidacy. How can people get into your candidacy?
Sure. Well, we need all the help we can get. This is going to be a challenging election. We're running against an incumbent, as I was sharing, someone who's been in government for 15 years. In one way or another, Representative Thompson has been paid by the government since the 70s. Okay, since the 70s. So it's quite a while, right? So she's entrenched in the community. She has a lot of name ID. But we need to look at not name ID, not how long someone has been in government, but what is the person actually doing? Is the person actually representing? Is she a good representation of the values of the district and what the district needs at the time? So I think what we need more than ever is people to go out to vote. We have, recently we have lost some ground. As I was sharing earlier, this was a Republican stronghold. It's no longer a Republican stronghold. District 44 has now more registered Democrats than we have Republicans. So we have to work we have to work twice as hard to get people out to vote, to get the message out, to get people. If you don't vote, if you live in District 44, what I ask you is that you please vote for me, for Bruno Portigliati. If you don't vote for some reason, I'm sure you probably work with someone who might live in District 44, or someone who lives, who knows people who live in District 44, encourage them to vote as well. If you don't vote, if you don't live in District 44, it doesn't matter. Get the word out. Get the word out about the importance of this election. That's the number one way that people can help, obviously, is voting. That's the number one way to contribute. The second way is, again, getting the word out. The third way, contributing to candidates. Every candidate needs, to obviously have the resources to be able to get the message out, to be able to be on TV, to have mailers, to touch voters in the district. We're doing that every single day. We're doing it through social media. We're doing it by knocking on doors, going door to door, knocking and talking to voters. That's something we're doing every single day. Today we hit on over 300 doors, talking to voters. But there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
A lot of work to be done.
Exactly. All right. So, brother, are you doing any virtual rallies? Do you have any virtual walks? Because I know
Yes.
with the pandemic, it's a little bit testy, and we're adapting to this
Yes.
historic event in pandemia that we haven't seen since the 1920s.
Yes.
It's a little bit odd. In 2020, we're suffering something that occurred almost 100 years ago.
Exactly.
So what are your events, if you could be?
Yeah,
very
so
short?
I've done I've been doing some web events. Obviously, we have a lot of fundraisers that are all taking place online, through Zoom and through video conferencing.
Okay.
But we're not going to stop going out and meeting with people. We're doing that. We're doing whatever we have to connect with voters. So we're going to continue to go out, but in a safe manner, in a safe way, following protocol, best practices protocol, CDC guidelines. We're doing all of that, but we're rolling up our sleeves and we're getting to work. So yes, we're going to continue to have web events, but we're also going to be out in the public talking to people.
Wonderful. Could you please say your social media?
Yeah, my website is www.electbruno.com. So electbruno.com. My Facebook is Bruno Portigliati, in Bruno Portigliati for state representative. And in my handle on Instagram and on Twitter is electbrunofl.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for your time, Bruno Hill.
Thank you.
We're going to support your candidate, and wonderful. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Pleasure to be here with you
Who
guys.
are we gonna fire?
We're going to be firing Representative Geraldine Thompson.
Yes!
Hey, thank you all so much for the opportunity. God bless all of you guys. Thanks for listening.
Okay.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for coming. And then I'll send you the link of the show and everything so you can share it, okay? Well, anyway, my fellow, mi gente, ¿cómo tú estás? Mi hermano, te la comiste. That was an awesome beginning of the show. Yo estoy tan y tan orgulloso que se me explota el corazón del orgullo. I mean, it is awesome. It is not every day that you have an executive director that could be so eloquent and hit on a lot of things that are true. And I'm very grateful for the candidate to be in here. And now we have this special show because we need to educate people.
Yeah, that's right.
In August, there's going to be some primaries, and the Republican Party is going to build its ticket. And that is why this show is here. So that is why people are here. We have a full house. We still have one more candidate outside.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, we're going to be rocking and rolling. But the woman that is here today, the patriot that is here today, that has been my friend, I think. Oh my God, she's known me when I was walking through the door, a Greenleaf to Akrak, many, I'm not going to say about how many years ago, but many moons ago.
Let's don't get carried away, JJ.
Anyway, Kathy Gibson is the state committee woman for the Republican Party, and she's coming up for election. Okay? And unfortunately, there is a person I think there's two people
There are two.
that are going to be running against her.
Okay.
And even though I'm a little bit biased because I love her and as a person, as a human being, and I think I still remember what she told me. We got to put God in government. See, I haven't forgotten. So, so that is something that we have to do. And it is that extensive friendship that I have with her. And she's been like my friend. She's had to pull my ear when she's had to pull my ear. She's given me good advice. So why not support her in her re-election as state committee woman for ACREC? We have to, because the thing of it is that she has not only the experience, she has the heart to be able to do it. And I'm going to shut up now and let Kathy talk. Kathy, tell us about your candidacy and your past work with ACREC.
All right. Let's see. This will be my second term if I am reelected, and it's a 4-year term. Most people don't know this, and JJ, you and I have talked about this. We have to raise money as a state committee man and committee woman. This is the only local elected officials that work with the party. You have to raise money to run a campaign countywide and get elected at the primary. But once that primary is over, and if you won, you can use no more funding from that campaign. It is a labor of love. It is an office that is done with a heart of service, because we don't get paid a dime. We have no reimbursement from the local or state or national party. And as far as I know, there are no write-offs with the IRS. And out of David and I's personal finances every year, because of everything it entails, not only locally but with the party and all of that, it costs me between $10,000 and $15,000 a year. So a 4-year term will cost you between $40,000 and $60,000. Now, we're not rich. We served this country, my husband, for 21 years and rode subs. And I was the Admiral's Ombudsman. When we retired down here, had a friend call up and say, well, you were military, right? And I'm like, yeah, we were. And she asked us, Tina Woody, from up in the Longwood area, if we would like to see about forming Honor Flight Central Florida. Honor Flight is an organization that's nationwide. We raise money. We take our World War II, now our Korean, and our Vietnam veterans to Washington, D.C. for one day and treat them like the national treasures they are. And so we took up that challenge. In fact, David still serves as the Director of Operations. It's a great organization. So I've been doing this for a very long time. And there's things I'm passionate about. When Rick Scott was elected, I had volunteered for him, for his campaign, when people were like, we don't want this man. It was like with Donald Trump, businessman, no, 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 no. And he got elected. I had worked on his campaign. And he knew I had been involved in a women's conference that talked about anti-human trafficking. So after he was elected, before we got to the first legislative session, in January 2010, it might have been March because we trade off with, if it's a presidential year, it's always January. If it's not, it's March. But anyway, and he said, so tell me, Kathy, what do you want? And I told him about, we need legislation brought into the state. Florida is the 3rd ranked state in the nation for human trafficking, followed only by New York. Only New York and California have beat us out of that.
And we see it every day in the news that they're busting hotels and motels around the Central Florida, and that's kind of funny because some of them around Central Florida are like, because Disney doesn't like the news.
No, they don't.
See, we got people say, because there's a lot of suppression and all about that, and I gotta do a shot to John Mina. I know you're not running against him anymore with that thing, but John Mina got endorsed by Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah.
You can take your mouth off. You can take your chin off the floor, JJ. No, don't.
I know, right? It's like what is going? It's like the Democrats are doing the last shots. And Kathy, we do need you in that position, because even though it's a labor of love, you've done so much for that position.
Well, and it's not only just here in Florida, because I have been a part of the Concerned Women for America 535 program, which is an advocate, a citizens women's conservative advocate legislative group on Capitol Hill. I've served the National Federation of Republican Women just in the last several years as the National Chair for Legislation and Research. And part of one of our big things is, of course, the human trafficking. And in the area, I have served as the legislative liaison when we had the Tea Party, when I statewide for the CWA. I have been part of a group of women called the Rosies, and most people do not know who they are or what we do. But it is a very influential group of women who, if we told you who they were, you would know who they were. You have to be recommended by a member in good standing, and you have to have been recognized for your work nationally, statewide, and locally. And then you have to survive 2-hour-long interviews. Now, this group was founded by Donna Hearn, whom we just lost. She was Reagan's 2-time appointee. And by Jenny Lamp Thomas, think SCOTUS.
Wow.
And so I was accepted into that. And we have worked quietly behind the scenes. There's many well-known women. And we're not brash, we're not out there, but, and JJ knows this, I hate blowing my own horn. I do. We're just back there, and we're taking on the issues, and we're making a difference in our nation's capital, in our state capitals. And we even have some of our women legislators with us.
And that's what we got to do. That's why I do feel that, unfortunately, I don't like to say anything ill of any other Republicans, but the problem is, I'm not saying anything ill. The fact that these people don't have experience and that have not given their legwork towards the Republican Party of Central Florida, which is ACREC, they don't have the experience. And I think that their work, their value would be served more helping the party elect Republicans and follow Kathy's lead, and probably in the next 8 or 9 years, when Kathy hopefully retires, well then, I don't know, she's God bless you. So the thing of it is that we need people with knowledge of what they're doing in the job. And I feel that if we're going to do unity for the party, we got to unite by her first. And also, Rich Crotty is also running too.
Absolutely, Rich plenty of experience, both locally and statewide.
And that is good. What is your strategy to be able? Are you making phone calls to Republicans? What are you doing right now?
I have a team that will do my phone calls for me. I've hung out in the FFRW for many years, and I have women all over the state who know me. And I have a group of ladies in Clay and Duval, and that just said, get us the scripts and get us the spreadsheet, and we'll do your calling. And they're going to do that a couple times. I just ordered my palm cards today. I will be at the gun show this weekend, and I will be handing those out. If we get them soon enough for WARF's, which is West Orange Republican Women Federated's luncheon with Jessie Jane Decker on Thursday, I'll be handing it out there. I have signs. And, I will go to anything and everything. But the problem is, because of COVID, there have been no meetings. We have not been anywhere. And usually, this is the longest I have ever sat down. I have a friend. Yeah, JJ, you know this.
Yep.
But I have a friend who's building my website and doing my media.
Oh, okay.
Great young woman. But she lives in Seminole, so I can't use her down here. But the thing is, she's known me for a long time. Since she was really like a kid in junior high. And she goes, Miss Kathy, I haven't seen you sit down and be quiet for this long ever. And it's true. And my husband will attest to it. I'm always out speaking somewhere because I speak at conferences. I speak at churches. I do voter registration. And
You even braved the rain, and we did the 4th of July.
We did the 4th of July party.
So we had artificial thunder. No. We had real thunder and real fireworks. Kathy, is there any website or social media that people could get involved with, please?
Well, it's being built. As
It's
I
being
said,
built?
Nikki Anderson
So-
is a great gal.
So
But she does this professionally, and so. But if you go to Kathy Gibson, Orange County State Committee Woman.com, that is where my website is being built out. And then I have a Facebook page, of course, that we are building out and I've been posting on. And it's Kathy Gibson, the same as the other, but you can find me on Facebook page.
Google Kathy Gibson, and you'll be able to get those sites and information, right?
And even as small a campaign as this is, I still need money because I have to buy signs. I just ordered 2,000 palm cards. I am looking at buying some radio time and coming on different stations such as yours and Carl Jackson and others. And so we haven't been able to have meetings, but the women are coming back. We have 3 this month. And early voting starts August 3rd. So I'm asking everyone in to get out and vote for me. I'm the 3rd one on the ballot. The 2 women who are running against me have been positioned so that they put me at the bottom of the alphabetical order of the ballot. So
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're at the end of the ballot. You know what? Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be number 1 in the polls. The ones that after the election is closed, you're gonna be number 1 on that.
Jay, let me say something, and this is wonderful for me because I never have an experience with you, listen to you, and for me, you have a wonderful profile and a good option to do this public work. But for Venezuela community, this is what I'm saying all the time: American values. You represent the American values. Your husband represents the American values, conservative values.
absolutely.
And this is what we need. I'm sorry for that, but I want to copy that values to take that to my country.
Yeah.
Because we need that. This
We
is
need-
exactly how America great again. And Donald Trump is talking about your values, your family, good intention for people, and your integrity. That's important. And God bless
Amen.
God bless you. God bless your husband. And well, we're going to support your campaign.
We're gonna start. HRO is gonna start exporting. We have a little news.
Yeah.
We're gonna be joining a Portuguese political party.
Yeah.
We're gonna be coming. Look at that. My hair's just stood up.
my.
We're becoming international. And I just got a call from the Conservative Party in the Dominican Republic that just lost their elections.
Okay.
They lost, but they gained some seats in Parliament. They lost by that much. So we're going to export conservatism and the Republican values that you see in this room. You're gonna box them. We're like, here you go. Here you go.
You know,
Everywhere in the world.
JJ, one of the things you and I have talked about is that I started with Americans for Prosperity when it was BJ West, Darrell Tootle, myself, and a very small handful of people as an advisory board. We didn't have offices. We didn't have state offices, local offices. And finally, Ken Mayo, who is a very dear friend who I've known forever, became our state director. And it has grown to the point where we do have offices all over in Tallahassee, but we started the Teen Leadership Academy. And I was able to go to Slade O'Brien, who was our second state director. He's now in D.C., and ask him for 20 scholarships to defending the American dream for when they kicked it off, because the conference was here in Orlando. And I took 20 students from Victory Christian Academy, which is almost 100% McKay scholarship. And we have been down there for 4 or 5 years. And we teach this to the seniors, the juniors, and the sophomore. We just keep reinforcing it. And for the first time ever, we are seeing that district, these kids are going home. And they're telling their parents, why are you voting Democrat? We're not going to. Because this program teaches them leadership. It teaches them the truth about our Constitution and Bill of Rights. And it also teaches them the truth about liberalism, socialism, and communism. And there's even a real cool section on capitalism and free market enterprise.
Wonderful.
So,
that's pretty good. And really, thanks for your time. We're going to support your campaign, and wonderful.
Kathy's going to be in now. Like I said, this hour we finished 1 hour, so yes, we did that one. Voló como voló. Now, my dear brothers, so those that don't know you, please tell your name, what you're running for, and who we're going to fire.
Thank you very much for inviting me here tonight. My name is Lou Menace. I'm running for State Senate District 15.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm running against Victor Torres, who pretty much has been AWOL, okay? So basically, he hasn't been there because no one has seen him. But what I really want to do right now is just get out and represent the people, okay? I've been a conservative for many years. Actually, I'll give my age away. I actually became a Republican under Ronald Reagan. So that's how far back I go, okay?
That's good.
And at that point, as an African American, I've been an oddball. I've been the sheep who has been the black sheep of the family, as far as, quote unquote, not part of the family. But I have conservative values. I have Christian principles, and the party fits who I am. And so representing that is what I've done. I spent over 21 years in the Orange County Sheriff's Office as a deputy sheriff. I work with children over there in school resource. I help put programs together to help people. I've been in the business industry for a little over 40 years. I run and own and have sold and bought businesses. I run a company right now over in Winter Garden, which is a mitigation corporation that the owner has just pretty much put it in my hands and allowed me to run it. So at that point, I understand it. With all the things that have happened here recently in our society, one of the reasons why I left the sheriff's race is because I felt I can do more in Tallahassee making laws than I can ever do by making a policy.
That is true.
It'll actually help not just the Orange County Sheriff's Office, but the other 66 counties that we have here for other police departments. So I know what the use of force is. I know when they're talking about what's a chokehold. If you've been in a fight before, actually a fight, when a police officer goes into a fight, he brings a deadly weapon because he has it on him. I'm not there to fight somebody, I'm there to subdue them. And in a deadly fight, I have to use whatever means is necessary to take that. That is not sitting on someone's neck for 8 minutes. That absolutely is a crime. It never, ever, you can never justify that. But what I'm here to do right now is to step up, be a voice for the people, be someone who can actually sit there and talk to people about what's really going on. That's my position, and that's where I bring the leadership there.
Wonderful.
For that.
And that is good, and we're living history.
Yes.
2020 is going to be is going to be ingrained in everybody's mind.
Yes. Like 2001 was.
It's the thing of it is that what happened to Mr. Floyd.
Yes.
Regardless of what he had in his bloodstream or what he was doing, he should not have died.
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not.
Now, on the flip side of that, I also am not in agreement with what Antifa, the anarchists, the radical liberals that don't vote, because the people that are doing these riotings are the same people that don't go and vote.
They've hijacked, and I'm just going to be honest, and I'm saying this as an African-American black male, they've hijacked that movement. There is legitimacy in some things that have gone wrong. I have been pulled over driving while black, as a law enforcement officer in plain clothes. I've watched the system be abused against me. However, only because of my knowledge and my experience of working in the system, I was able to survive it. So the concern of what's going on, we need to come together and talk. I'm in an organization right now locally that we're talking about reform, and it has both parties involved, because I'm saying I'm not here for the party in that sense. I'm here for what's right for the people. I want to represent people. I was putting my life on the line, willing to walk out and die for someone I didn't know as a deputy sheriff. I'm willing right now to stand up for those and say, here's what it's really all about. This is where we really need to go. We need to move forward. We need to talk. It's time for talking. What Floyd has actually done was said, this is the catalyst. Now we really have to bring something to the table. Let's not let this go by. And that's why I have to step up.
And as a member trying to get elected into Tallahassee,
Yes.
The state version of what Congress is.
Yes.
I don't believe in defunding the police.
No, absolutely not.
I don't. I know that you I know you don't either.
No.
But we do need to have some certain mechanisms to diffuse these groups of rogue deputy sheriffs
Yes.
and Orlando Police Department, because also I don't want to have a blind eye.
No.
It has happened.
Yes, it has.
And under Val Demings as Orlando Police Department, hundreds upon hundreds of complaints have been logged.
Yes.
Under Jerry Demings
Yes.
as sheriff, also there has been a lot
Yes.
of controversy
Yes.
that they both didn't care
Yes.
for the security of the people. So I applaud you going to Tallahassee, but what can you tell us in bullet points that you want to do to be able to, I don't want to say curtail the cops, because
No.
I want to say try and weed out the bad apples.
I think that we have a certification that we have to earn that is state held. It's not held by the department, it's held by the state. If there are issues with that officer, law enforcement officer, as far as deputy or police officer, it needs to be brought up to the state. Going up to the state, that is something that I can say we need to be able to monitor that. You do need a chance of justice by saying, if there's an accusation against you, you need to be able to defend it. But we need to be able to see it. If it's something that is constant, if it's something from agency to agency, then we need to pull that certificate so he can no longer do that type of work here. We do have, and officers do know, there are calls that I would not go with deputies on, because I am not going to that call with him because I know that there's issues with him. But that's not for me as a deputy to say, that's for supervisors to say. And so with that in mind, there should be a consequence for that. I'm going to push for legislation for a consequence for that. We have to be able to weed them out.
So more like within the department have a system of checks and balances?
Absolutely.
All
yes,
right.
yes, yes.
All right, my brother. Let's move on to another hot topic.
All right.
You're going against a man in an area that it's heavy with Puerto Ricans.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It may not be the majority, but they're up there.
Yes.
You know my passion for Puerto Rico and for Venezuela is that Venezuela to be free, have
Yes.
free elections, and for
Yes.
me, that Puerto Rico has some sort of a path to statehood.
I agree.
And even though Tallahassee is not probably the place to discern that, but the question still remains valid because of the border block you're going against.
I understand.
Do you support statehood for Puerto Rico?
I do.
Okay.
And the reason I do is because they have been a part of us for so long.
150 years
They
plus.
have fought with us. They have gone to war with us. They have been there. They do deserve that, especially before the District of Columbia, which is really not a state.
Yeah, that was a slap in the face.
I really, 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 I take offense to that. I can't help on that end, but my support is for, I do want to see Puerto Rico become a state.
Okay.
And here in
So
United States.
you would because you know that there's a Puerto Rican Day in Tallahassee. Did you know about that?
I did
right?
not know about that. No.
All right. Well, there is a day that people go to Tallahassee. I think last time that they went, it went a little bit out of hand because Escamani kind of got into it, and a couple of other people got into it too.
Okay.
So basically, I do not mind the civil conversation about Puerto Rico. I just don't like you say, I don't like things being hijacked.
Exactly.
Would you consider expanding the possibilities of having the Puerto Rican Day, not one day, just 2 days, to be able to talk about problems? Because we're not only talking about problems that are occurring in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
We're talking about American citizens that have relocated from Puerto Rico or from other places that have issues here.
Yes.
And I do think that it's the validity of the government of the people and by the people is to listen to the people. Do you have any comments about that?
I agree. I'm originally from Ohio, so I've moved here. I'm a transplant also, and I realized that we in America have offered that around the world. Okay, to people to come here to be able to get this opportunity to be here. So yes, I'm absolutely for adding something to that. I'm a person of talking. I've been in leadership for a long time with some of the best leadership people in the world. John Maxwell, those guys I've sat under. And that's about talking, okay? It's not about, emotionally saying, oh, I hate you because of this. No, it's about having a conversation. There are people on the other side of the aisle I can actually sit and talk with. We can walk away and say, we don't agree on some things, but we can go away. I think that needs to be brought back to the table.
I do think so too, because we don't. Well, it's like, again, the national polls. Let's take our president. Among Republicans, he has a 92% approval rate.
Yes.
Among Democrats, it's a 2%. Do you see the stretch in separation?
Yes.
So we have to stop that, Lou.
Yes.
And I'm proud that you're one of those that wants to stand up and be able to engage in civil dialogue.
Exactly.
And probably enact, because we have candidates here that are running for federal office. And again, my show not only educates the people that see us or listen to us,
yes,
but I want to educate the candidates itself. And that is a very important thing. Your opponent,
yes,
what has he done for his constituents, if you know anything that he's done?
I believe in being honest and fair with anybody that's out there, because I have no reason to try to hide anything or try to boost myself up. I've looked a lot about where he's been, and I really haven't. I've talked to people on iDrive. I've talked to businesses, because again, like I said, I'm a businessman. I've talked to people out there, and they said they really, some people didn't know who he was. So I'm not real sure what he's been involved in. I do know that he's been involved in politics for a while. I know that he's come from New York. I know that he's been down here for that purpose. But the reality is that I haven't seen that. And for what I'm saying is that I'm here to represent everyone. Okay, I'm here to represent both sides. I am willing to listen to you and bring your side to the table. Okay, so that we can move forward. We need unity. Okay, back in this country again. We've had separation. We've had anarchy. We've had dismay. But the reality is that somebody needs to step up and say, hey, we need to stop and let's have unity. I'm going to bring that. That's what leadership is about. Leadership is about somebody stepping up and saying, let's do this. I don't see that with a lot of other people, but like you said, when you talk about the disparaging difference between 2% and 90%, there's emotion in there, but no one's listening to what's really going on. I'm saying it's time to listen. I will be that voice for our people here.
Okay. And Lou, what is the social media? What are the websites? How can people get engaged with you?
I'm right now with I'm changing websites, but it's going to be for Lou for Lou for Senate at for Lou for Senate.
No problem.
Google me. Okay. The reason I'm saying it is because
Google. But you do have a Facebook page, right?
A Facebook page, yes, I do, and I also have a website right now that we're in the process of changing. But right now, like I said, for the most part, if you Google me, we're there. We're also looking to help for, to raise money. We need signs. I didn't get into this race and switch until the week of qualification, so I'm a little bit behind. Luckily, I don't have a primary.
Okay.
So I've got some time to get that going. But we definitely want to move forward. I'm here to represent the people. I'm here to represent the people. I bring that to everyone here.
And as soon as the COVID breaks up a bit, you're going to start doing walks, or are you going to establish, like Kathy is doing, establishing a brigade to be able to do phone banking?
I have a Zoom as far as right now. I've got a meeting I'm going to try to set up for August the 5th at 5 o'clock to invite people to come and talk to me and ask me questions. So I've had Zoom for a long time. I was in a leadership development organization that was some of the things that I did for my team. So I have that. I have the ability to put 100 people on or plus. So that's, phone banking. I'll have to get with somebody else for phone banking as far as that's concerned. But yes, we're going to have to reach out, and that's going to be it. So.
And can we have you back on the show?
Absolutely.
Please,
you know that.
please.
JJ, I'm here with you. Thank you.
I have to do a little bit of comedy because those liberals are like, look what that says. That traitor is taking it. I can imagine Victor going like, he's a traitor now. He's not supporting his own kind. Like, dude, you don't represent me.
You don't. That's it. We represent him.
And it's true because he comes up and he's pushing that liberal agenda, and it's something that is so bad.
Yes.
And we just gotta fire him. I'm sorry. I gotta use the words that the president uses. You're fired.
Yes.
Yeah. And come election time, when you go to Tallahassee and you implement your vision and what you want for that Senate district, I think that not only the ball will start rolling.
Yes.
We're gonna give a very terrible news to Mayor Derry Jennings and the other guy from Orlando, and says, look, you're next.
Yes, absolutely. We need to take our community back for the people, not for their party.
Exactly, because right now that group that controls Central Florida, including represent the Three Stooges, which is Stephanie Murphy, Darren Soto, and Val Demings, because I call them the Three Stooges. Yes. Get over it. Because Jerry Demings called me a very disrespectful man. I'm like, no, I'm not disrespectful. She is a Looney Tune.
That's it.
So you don't like it? Go. But anyway, it's very nice. We're going to be getting a phone call from Puerto Rico, but it would be an honor to have you, brother.
I thank you again, and all of you. I appreciate everything that you've done.
Thank you. And send me the information, and then when we do the description of the show, text it to me. Oh, you got it right there? All right. So basically, what we'll do is we'll put his information on the description of today's show, because today's show is historic. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right. You, my brother, sit over here. But we're going to do a phone call from Puerto Rico. But sit down.
Sure.
All right.
No, tiene que llamar.
We need to call. We need to call right now. We're going to talk with Heidi. Wonderful. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Otherwise,
we have a call from Puerto Rico. The lawyer Prado is going to call right now, and we're going to talk with. We're going to talk about wonderful. We have a wonderful discussion here about Puerto Rico and the situation that Puerto Rico have. How we can deal legally with that, and well, in a few seconds we're gonna have Mr. Prado giving us a legal vision of Puerto Rico and the situation with the United States. Okay.
All right. So we're live here. So bear with me one moment, and we're gonna call him right now.
El último número que llamo.
And you're going to hear the ringing.
Yes.
Pregúntale al licenciado Prado qué está pasando con los planes para recoger el voto.
Buenas noches.
Aló, sí, muy buenas noches.
Con el licenciado, por favor.
¿Es el programa radial?
Sí, es el programa radial.
Estamos en el aire.
Estamos en el aire, por favor.
Claro que sí, no se me retire.
So thank you. And we'll be with you in a moment, all right?
absolutely no problem. Thank you for this
You,
opportunity.
you want to fire Stephanie Murphy?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hola, ¿cómo estamos, licenciado?
Buenas noches, Jay.
Buenas noches, ¿cómo estamos? ¿Cómo está mi isla del encanto? Dime algo, ¿has oído el coquí? ¿Te has metido una medalla oyendo al coquí al lado del mar? Por favor, dime algo.
Lo único que te puedo decir es que estamos bajo fuego. Esto está calientísimo entre los fuegos que hay cruzados entre la exsecretaria de Justicia y la gobernadora. Esto está bien feo acá.
Eso, tienes toda la razón, está bien feíto eso, el caso del carro y el kayak y de muchas otras cosas, pero es que esa es la sensación loca de lo que está pasando en Puerto Rico, licenciado. Es que se ha cambiado tanto el gobierno que se cortaron las cabezas, pero no han terminado de rodar.
No, esto está bien feo. Hay fuego cruzado de señalamientos ante la Oficina de Ética Gubernamental, fuego cruzado en cuanto a actos de corrupción entre la exsecretaria de Justicia y la señora gobernadora. Así que esto está bien feo. Pero para adelante.
Eso es así. Y licenciado, sobre los proyectos que usted estaba hablando cuando usted estuvo primeramente aquí en nuestros estudios, y muchísimas gracias por esa entrevista. ¿Está en Puerto Rico haciendo algo sobre lo que habíamos hablado?
No estoy déjeme contarle lo que está sucediendo con nuestra campaña. Nosotros se ha estructurado las campañas de educación tanto en las iglesias como en las escuelas para comenzar en agosto. No sabemos todavía, ¿verdad?, si va a ser presencial o va a ser por videoconferencias. Por ahora todo apunta que va a poder ser presencial. Y tenemos un sinnúmero de iglesias que ya hemos coordinado, y un sinnúmero de escuelas, especialmente en Hola, County, que ha sido muy abierto a este tipo de educación. Por otro lado, ya tenemos un sinnúmero de artistas e influencers que ya han dicho presente para la campaña de redes sociales, donde ya en lo que queda de mes de julio y principios de agosto están ya con sus respectivos mensajes grabándolos, cada cual en sus respectivas casas, ¿verdad? Todavía estamos en distanciamiento, pero está todo viento en popa para arrancar con una conferencia de prensa en agosto, con la campaña de medios, que le puedo decir que los influencers que se han unido a la campaña son personas de muchos seguidores, mucho impacto a nivel nacional. Tenemos un venezolano, por ejemplo, que tiene como 6 millones de seguidores.
Okay.
Influencer, que lo deben conocer, se llama Marcos, el influencer de Miami.
Seguro que yes.
Marcos va a estar con nosotros. De Puerto Rico tenemos a otro influencer que se llama Joshua Pauta. Pero va más allá, tenemos artistas dominicanos. Una de las artistas que dijo presente es Nati Natasha, que está grabando nosotros vamos a hacer, aunque va dirigido a los boricuas, también vamos a expandirlo a los venezolanos, a los dominicanos, a todos los latinos que salgan a votar, salgan a registrarse por el partido de su preferencia. Lo importante es que nos empoderemos de las estructuras de política del Estado y a nivel nacional. Y tenemos que enfatizar que es la forma de ser un buen ciudadano. Ser un buen ciudadano es ejercer el voto.
Exactamente. Yo estoy 100% de acuerdo contigo. Y mi hermano, la preguntita de los 64,000 chavitos, ¿cuándo tú regresas para acá?
Nosotros estamos investigando, antes de que termine, hemos tenido unas conversaciones con varios políticos locales. Y estamos pensando estar de vuelta como entre el 20 al 21 de julio para poder ayudar a ciertos. De hecho, creo que una de las personas que va a estar por acá en Orlando, que vamos a estar ayudándola y ayudándola en la exhortación de que se voten. Los que puedan votar en Estados Unidos, voten en Estados Unidos. Aquellos boricuas que están transitorios en Florida, usted sabe que el Código Electoral de Puerto Rico te permite votar si tu intención es regresar a Puerto Rico.
Exactamente.
Votar ausente, y vienen políticos desde la comisionada residente Jennifer González hasta un sinnúmero de otros funcionarios a exhortar a que voten, sea en Estados Unidos o sea en Puerto Rico. Lo que no queremos es que voten en los dos sitios y se busque un problema legal.
Eso es así. Como algunos que conozco que como que votaron 2 veces. Mejor no me enseñalo, que después voy a necesitar tus servicios legales. Pero anyway, eso ya pasó. El statute of limitation ya pasó anyway. Pues ha sido tremendo, licenciado. ¿Alguna otra cosa que usted quería decir?
No, que estén a los boricuas, exhortarlos a que no cometan errores, y si su intención es quedarse en Estados Unidos, usted tiene que votar en Estados Unidos. Si tu intención es regresar a Puerto Rico, pues tiene la oportunidad de votar ausente en Puerto Rico, pero no cometan violaciones electorales que le dan bien duro, tanto los federales como los estatales. Son dudas.
Eso es así. Bueno, pues licenciado, muchísimas gracias por ese reportaje desde Puerto Rico, y esperamos que usted venga. Cuando usted venga, nosotros vamos a coger unas vacacioncitas de verano, porque no vamos a estar este martes ni el otro, pero tengo que ver si es el primer martes de agosto que vamos a regresar, porque estamos en verano y imagínate, tanto que han trabajado Nathalie y acá a Santiago, si los trabajo muy duro, pues tengo que darle 2 o 3 días de vacaciones para que enjollen y se tomen su medallita, y pues claro. Mira, tengo a Nathalie hasta riéndose ahí.
Saludos, aquí hablando.
Mira, pues
saludos.
Y entonces, pues, cuando ya en agosto que tú estés aquí en Orlando, pues cuadramos otra visitita.
No, Jay, yo creo que tú cubras, cuando hagamos la conferencia, va a estar cordialmente invitado a que cubras en vivo y pueda ser testigo de la historia que vamos a hacer en las redes sociales, cuando vamos a movilizar a toda esa juventud a votar.
Bueno, y si necesitas un maestro de ceremonia, viste, ya te puse la voz de productor. Tú sabes, tú no necesitas a Marcano, deja a Marcano quieto.
Mi hermano, un abrazo y que tengas un buen día, y muchísimas gracias, que tengas usted un día positivo, gracias. Que tu viaje sea bueno, y te esperamos aquí con los brazos abiertos, mi hermano, ¿ok?
Gracias, hermano, cuídese.
Bye. Bueno, pues ese era el licenciado, y básicamente nos dice unas cositas muy importantes, que el proyecto que él avala, pues, tú sabes, es informar a los boricuas, porque es como los que vienen de Venezuela, no saben cómo es la política americana. Hay que educarlo, ¿verdad?
Eso es el detalle, hay que educarlo.
All right.
Para eso tenemos que formar y seguir.
Bueno, now we're going back to English, and you're going to say like, "Oh my God, what the hell he's talking about?" The gentleman that I have over here, he's from China, and he has suffered what is communism, Chinese communism,
Yep.
and his intent is to represent America, because he's an American citizen. He became an American citizen. You're an American citizen,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So basically, now the Democrats can do the opposite. No, he's not America.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, for those that don't know you, my dear brother, you're running for District 7, and you are trying to have Stephanie Murphy fired, right?
That is correct.
All right, man. So please tell us your name and how can people get involved in your campaign?
Sure. First, thank you for having me here.
Oh yeah, and he got me a gift. Hold on, I gotta share this. Hold on.
Okay, sure.
Hold on. He gave me a gift here. Not this. That was my phone. It's broken. Look at that. Ooh. Wow. Ooh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow. Look at that. Wow, that is nice. That is
It's
nice.
a small gift,
Yeah.
So
He knows how to get the good side of a Puerto Rican. Give me something. But yeah, thank you very much. And tell me, what is your name, and why do you want to run for Congress?
okay, my name is Yi Kong Zhao. I'm running for Congress for primarily 2 reasons. Number 1, America is under assault by the radical liberals.
Mm-hmm.
They try to make this country to become Venezuela, to become communist China 50 years ago. So I want to really bring help our Hispanics, help all Americans to really take care of their wallet, the family, and the future. The three things, right? That's number one. Really, that for this country's future, I want to fight against radical liberals, against socialism, and against the current cultural revolution in America. That's number one. Number two, I want to really bring solutions to help all Americans. And for example, we have huge racial disparities, right? You know, the liberal attack put every blame on government, but that's wrong. We need empower family. We need really, help the families to control their destiny. For example, one solution I want to propose is introduce the life skill management into high school curriculum.
That's good.
I have published one book, many columns in Orlando Sentinel, talking about families, how to manage the money, how to prevent the drug abuse, how to prevent the crime. These kind of areas. If we teach our children do that, if we bring good job to them, we have a stronger family, right? So this is my platform. But I come down to the three things, the three items Hispanic care about, also Chinese American also care about, all American care about, wallet. Number one, I want really help President Trump to fight coronavirus. It's rising. Although I'm not a doctor yet, but I already wrote policy recommendation, sent to the White House task force. I published part of that in Daily Caller already in March.
Okay.
I also want to support President Trump on the economy, to rebuild the economy, low tax, reduce regulations, right? Also for Central Florida, we need to diversify our economy. We to depend on the tourist industry, right? So we already have a good school like UCF, have like software engineering, a lot of good major. We need to bring high-tech job to Central Florida.
Central Florida.
That is
Why hasn't your opponent done that? Why hasn't Stephanie Murphy brought more high-tech jobs to Central Florida? Why? To her district?
Unfortunately, she cares about more politics, right? Mm-hmm. She on her website, she claimed she want to put the people's interest first. End of the day, she joined the impeachment of President Trump, and then distract the whole nation from combating the coronavirus. She's really partisan. She voted more than 90% with Nancy Pelosi, right? Mm-hmm. So because in reality she is a partisan politician, so she failed on that. So number two, family, we talk about that. I also want to use the market reform to really bring the accessible healthcare to everybody. The liberals say Medicare for all. That is a failure. We really cannot afford, the country cannot afford Medicare for another 7 years, right? We don't have enough money. That is socialist approach will fail. So that is kind of examples, I want to help family and also the future. I already mentioned reform, defending America's founding principle. I think you correctly mentioned, what Venezuela failed, what, even in Puerto Rico, right, was not well managed. What really make America successful is all founding principles, like rule of law, like freedom of speech, like free market system, right? But a radical liberal like Bernie Sanders, AOC, try to, bring that kind of agenda to America. I lived through that, so whenever AOC or Bernie Sanders talk about socialism, I can shut them up just by giving my examples, my life experience.
Are you ready to tear Stephanie Murphy up in a debate?
Yes, because I was in the first debate. I participated, right, between Republicans. I was criticizing Stephanie Murphy. I said both her family and my family suffer from the socialism, but she is aligned with socialists. I'm fighting against socialism. That's a huge difference, right? So, and also, I we will also, reform the education to bring the benefits to Hispanics, to all Americans. Example, we have too many majors. There's no future, right? People cannot find a good job. We need to get STEM education, science, engineering, technology, and maths, right? We also need to have occupational training. We need to reform that. We also need to have school choice. A lot of public school are failing because teachers union, right? We need to give parents choice. So I want to, in summary, I will help Hispanic and also on working on the wallets, on the, enrich their wallet, empower their family, also give them a greater future. By the way, I want to emphasize one thing. My best neighbor, the wife is from Puerto Rico, the husband from Ohio. I visited Puerto Rico twice. I love this island. Unfortunately, it's been mismanaged, managed by the Democratic Party. So I hope, in the future, you guys takes that back to, to conservative.
Would you support a Puerto Rican statehood bill?
I think. Absolutely, because Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. When they vote to join the union, I absolutely will support that.
All right. Thank you. Can you please tell us your websites, please?
Yeah, my website is Yukong for Congress. Let me spell YUKONG ZHAO Congress.com. So please visit my website. I want to say, I have the best credential to defeat Stephanie Murphy to really take this seat back to support President Trump.
So that's thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Remember, when is the primary? When is the Republican primary?
It's August 18th. Please, remember my name. My name will be the last on the ballot. The last is the best, okay?
All right. Good. Well, I want to present Robert Prater. He's running for Florida State Senate. Robert, come on and introduce yourself, brother.
Do you have my card already?
Yeah.
I already got it.
Thank you.
All right. We're in live TV, so don't we do that. So, brother.
Hi, sir.
So, who are you running against, brother?
Oh, everybody knows my famous opponent, Carlos Guillermo Smith.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Another one. Thank you so much, brother. Take care. I'll send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
All right. The door. Carlos Guillermo Smith. Oh my God. Okay. I gotta start with something here, brother. Tell me, what has he done for the district lately? The crickets are playing in.
No, I don't. There's nothing to say. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, that's it. And then
I can tell you, your last guest ended on education reform. I'm a teacher. My opponent sat on 2 education committees this past year, and he did not write one bill on education. He wrote 2 on marijuana, so I guess he wants the kids to get high, but he didn't write one bill to help improve any students, never mind the Hispanic students that your last guest was talking about and touching on, and I can tell you we can get into a wide range of issues with what the Hispanic community needs in education. And I'll tell you, I taught the second language learners for about 2 years over at Winter Park Tech, and they were from everywhere. From Venezuela, from Taiwan, from Russia. I met people from all over the world, and taught them English. And I can tell you, I had to fight the system because they want to teach an adult that doesn't know any English as if they already know it. And I'm like, no. I taught them like they were in 1st and 2nd grade, and I wasn't trying to embarrass them. But we had an advanced class that had been learning English for 3 years, learned about 600 words. My class, they go ahead, try it out. Let's see if your way will work better. 3,000 words in 1 year. Because I taught them phonics, I taught them basic skills of learning English. And they 5 times more than the advanced class.
Well, Carlos has been one of the most fervent critics. He calls me a traitor because I'm betraying. I'm not following one of his race, and he has also said that I'm homophobic. I would like to say that I was a DJ in Pulse nightclub, and I have friends that are in the gay community. I just don't say the LGBT word because it's just entitling. There are gays and they're non-gays. I'm not gay. I'm heterosexual, but I don't have anything to do, any complaints or anything. I think they have rights except for marriage because I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. How would you speak to those constituents that says you're gonna withdraw gay rights? Is that something? Because I've heard some comments of Carlos saying that you're gonna withdraw gay rights. I don't believe that because you're a teacher.
Yeah, no, I have not been presented with any of that, and I haven't heard any of that. But yeah, well, I am a Christian. Probably everybody in this room is. I believe what the Bible says. I follow it. Now, when you're being presented with a bill, you have to vote on what is best for your constituents.
So, do you think that marijuana is good for your constituency right now? Okay.
Absolutely not.
Why would he bring his power play to say, look what I've done for you. I've brought you this, and it's been to raise marijuana, to do environmental things. Why do you think he hasn't been able to do anything good in the district?
Well, because he's an activist. He's not a legislator. If you go, you can pull it up right now, screenshot it. If you go on his Florida State House website and under occupation, it doesn't say legislator. It says activist. He's not a legislator. He's never passed a bill. The bills he writes, they don't get out of committee, and they're all for his self agenda. And you can't be that way. I have gone out, and in this short period of time, my team and I have knocked on 1,500 doors. And I've only found one family that knew who their legislator was. That's not good. Yeah. That means you're not out in the community. You are not knocking on doors. And so I can tell you, he's banking on winning because he's hoping that D next to his name will carry him with enough votes to win. Well,
do you feel that with the people that you've been talking? By the way, you're the person I'm going to be voting for in my precinct.
Thank you.
And I'm precinct committeeman, so we're going to be walking some of the same streets pretty soon when the COVID goes out. Do you feel that there's a switching little by little, that people are understanding what the Democrats stand for and what the Republicans stand for?
I don't know about that far, but I'll be honest with you, I think that they are just looking. Most people are pragmatic. A day's work for a day's pay, and so when people see you out there and they see you walking and they see your team walking, sometimes the letter next to your name doesn't matter. They want people that they know are going to work. They don't want somebody. I'm in the education system. Best principals I ever work for are the ones that are out in the hallways, in the cafeteria, checking PE, making sure the kids aren't skipping class in the restroom. Not the ones sitting in their office all day doing nothing. So those principals, nobody knows who they are, and nobody wants to go work for them. But the ones that are out and making sure you have everything you need, they're the ones. I work for Dr. June Jones, and I'll tell you right now, she retired. I would go work for her in a minute if I had the opportunity again.
We've had a 2-hour show, and we've kind of left the best for last because all candidates were equal. But with you and the gentleman that's right over here, Mr. Sergio Ortiz, we want to try and set the bar that not only Orange County is changing, Osceola County will be changing also. So Sergio Ortiz, he's the candidate that is going to dethrone the false prophet, Mr. Darren Soto, which is part of the Three Stooges. So I want to give him an opportunity. Robert, we'll go back to you in a moment. Sergio, bienvenido.
Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Qué placer tan grande y el honor. Me siento humillado aquí porque estoy aquí al lado de gente grande, gente que está buscando para el porvenir. Mi nombre es Sergio E. Ortiz, estoy corriendo para el Distrito 9 en la Florida Central para el Congreso de los Estados Unidos. Gracias por la oportunidad de estar aquí. Gracias por dejarme hablar y darle la representación apropiada a nuestro pueblo y a esta nación y todas las personas en mi distrito.
Muchísimas gracias, Sergio. And basically, why run against? I know that you have a primary, but we're trying to look forward past the primary. Why do you want to fire Darren Soto? Why do you think Darren Soto has been so inept in that congressional district?
Bueno, porque prácticamente él no ha hecho nada por la comunidad. Él viene y dice que es para los puertorriqueños, pero él va para Puerto Rico y viene con billetes y no hace nada. Mira, en Puerto Rico hay necesidad. Dime cuántas máscaras él ha llevado a Puerto Rico, cuánta medicina él ha llevado a Puerto Rico, y en este distrito cuántas máscaras él ha traído aquí, cuántas personas él ha ayudado. Yo me paso toda la semana buscando comida para más de 1,500 personas para que la gente tenga de comer. Yo no he oído nada que él dice, mira que yo he salido a buscarle la comida, ayudar a la gente, abrir los trabajos. Él lo que ha hecho es esconderse en su palacio, no se oye, no se ve, no se sabe nada. Él es el Biden del Distrito 9, que dice, no, yo me quedo en mi cueva porque calladito me veo más bonito. Pero las personas que están allá afuera como yo, que están buscándole comida a la gente, y mira, yo empecé a orar por esta nación constantemente todos los días. Me afano por la oración para que esta nación eche para adelante, y él no ha hecho nada, no se oye nada de él.
Y tú eres, and you've been one of the ones that have been since the beginning of your launching of your campaign. You've been out there talking to people. What have you heard the people say about you, and what have people said about Darren Soto?
Bueno, como acaba de decirle el señor, yo le pregunto a ellos, oye, ¿quién es tu representante? Y ellos me dicen, pero yo no sé. Digo, pero ¿cómo no va a ser si tú me dices que has votado por él? Sí, pero ¿y cómo se llama? Bueno, yo no sé cómo se llama. Y la gran mayoría me dice, mira, yo todavía no he visto a nadie pararse aquí y decir que está cogiendo para el Congreso, para que yo lo vea. Nunca he visto una persona que está postulado para ser congresista, porque no lo ven. Solamente lo ven cuando Telemundo lo tira para allá y habla el español más pateado, cuando le habla a la gente y no se entiende ni lo que está diciendo, pero cuando van y lo confrontan con la verdad, sales huyendo, hablando como un puertorriqueño, sales huyendo como el ratón que está buscando el joto. Yo.
So, Richard, basically what we were talking about is, how, again, like you were saying, and like the other gentleman was saying, is he's walked in his district and he's tried to talk about Darren Soto, and a lot of people don't know who he is. No. Just like Guillermo Smith. They want to use their money to be able to, they're hiding behind the George Soros money and their mailers and to avoid the walks, and they pay people. Le pagan a las personas, because I know this because I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. They pay people to do their walking for them. Robert, you're not going to be that kind of candidate, right? You're going to be the candidate of the people making contact with the people.
We have gone walking. We've texted people. We've emailed people. I am one of a handful of Republican candidates statewide that qualified by petition. There was only Renee Placencia. In Orange County was the other Republican that actually qualified by petition. That's how hard we worked. We didn't let the COVID stop us. We were texting, emailing people. We set up the Office of Elections in Tallahassee allowed us to do online petitions. We did that, and then we called the people and we asked them if we could go so that they could put their original signature still on the petition instead of turning in an online signature, because it really didn't match. So we really need to be careful with these mail-in ballots. Even though I believe a lot of people are going to do them, we've got to be very careful with the signatures, and so we need to watch out for that.
Because I understand that there is a preoccupation, but if there's safeguards, because I voted by mail and I voted in the booth, and my vote has never been lost. Robert, we're coming up in a little bit of short of time. I'm sorry. We're coming back on July 28th. Probably it's a good time for you to come back to us. But what is the social media? What is the contact to get you involved?
We just finished our website, because I do not have a primary, so you're going to look for me on the ballot November 3rd. Early voting will start mid-September with the mail-in ballots. Early voting is about 10 days or so before that, so that'll be the end of October. voterobprater.com is where you can reach me. You can email me at voterobprater@gmail.com. And
I got one of your mailers, and I called you up, and you picked up the phone, and like, wow, cool. No, that is awesome.
Oh yeah, I've actually had a lot of constituents calling me because he doesn't answer the phone. And yeah,
imagine that.
And I'm like, well, I'm not in office yet, but I like just let me know
as soon as I get in office.
I was
just
like,
vote for me. Man.
Oh yeah. She goes, well, is there any way when you see him, when you debate him, can you tell him to call me? I was like,
and Sergio, how can people get enthused about your candidacy? I know you said it a lot of times on my show, but again, please.
Para comunicarse conmigo, por favor, vaya a ortizforcongress.com. Ortiz, F-O-R, congress.com. Yo estoy en las medias de Facebook, Sergio E. Ortiz, me puede conseguir, o Ortiz for Congress, me puede conseguir ahí. Estoy exhortando a todos ustedes, especialmente los latinos, que aprendan a votar, que no vengan con la misma pensamiento que tenían en la isla, que en Puerto Rico tú votas todos los tiempos y es igual. Aquí en Estados Unidos es bien diferente. Necesitamos tu apoyo, necesitamos tu ayuda. Si tú verdaderamente quieres ver cambios, tienes que salir en masa y votar positivamente, votar por mí, porque yo soy el único que te va a ayudar a ti a echar adelante. No voy a permitir que te sigan cogiendo de mango bajito, que los demócratas siempre esperan que tú votes por ellos, pero no hacen nada por ustedes. ortizforcongress.com es mi página y espero que se comuniquen conmigo. Gracias.
Y al menos tú no vas a hacer como hizo Darren Soto, que cuando tú propongas, cuando tú llegues al Congreso, tú vas a proponer un bill del Congreso para la admisión de Puerto Rico de más de 5 páginas, ¿verdad?
Es un bill completo y bien hecho, con todo punto y detalle, porque demasiado de muchos puertorriqueños han dado su vida por esta nación. Desde el principio, cuando la revolución de los Estados Unidos, habían puertorriqueños luchando por esta nación. En la guerra civil, habían puertorriqueños luchando en la Florida del Sur por esta nación. Y desde 1918 han estado luchando por esta nación en todos los confines de la tierra. Necesitamos, y no es que nos los ganamos y merecemos que seamos incluidos en los Estados Unidos como un estado. Este señor Darren Soto lo que está haciendo es, te está dando un dulcecito para que tú te comas el caramelo, para que te quedes tranquilo, pero no te está dando el respaldo que necesitas. Necesita alguien que vaya y luche, como ustedes lucharon, como esa gente de la 65 Infantería que lucharon por esta nación y dejaron todo, esos Buccaneers que eran tan fuertes que cuando los americanos no podían, los enviaban a ellos porque ellos arrasaban. De esa misma manera nosotros vamos a arrasar este pueblo para levantar a Puerto Rico en lo que se merece.
Bueno, yo sé que tú apoyas, yo sé que tú apoyas la estadidad. Robert, I know that you're going to Tallahassee,
yes,
but this guy has the Puerto Rican vote curtailing statehood for Puerto Rico till the Democrats, followed by Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and the gang of whatever, and the Three Stooges here, slapped us in the face with presenting a bill in the Congress that Washington, D.C. should be the 51st state. Even the bill is called H.R. 51.
Yep.
Understanding that, do you support statehood for Puerto Rico?
Yes. As a matter of fact, you got 3.2 million people that live in Puerto Rico, and so they more than qualify. There's a process that, as a teacher, that we teach that you have to follow. And believe it or not, all 50 states gone through the same process. As a matter of fact, historically, if you look at how the United States is set up, 4 of our states remained as commonwealths. Pennsylvania, Virginia, Kentucky, and Massachusetts are all, commonwealths. So right now, Puerto Rico, they need to vote. They need to put pressure on both parties in Washington, because you need both the House and the Senate to pass, and then the president needs to sign the bill. But there is a process that and the benefits that nobody ever talks about of infrastructure, education, all the federal funding that the other 50 states get. If Puerto Rico knew about this, I think they would put more pressure on these politicians in Washington to get it done. But everybody uses it as a political punching bag or a way to get the Hispanic vote. And
They dangle it. They dangle it like the golden carrot.
you know, Mr. Smith's dad is from Peru, mom is from Canada. He's never, you know, he's born here in Florida. So, you know, but he'll dangle his middle name so that he can get the Hispanic vote. But when I go and I talk to the Hispanic folks, and there's like 6 precincts that I've already done the research on, they don't know who he is. They don't know who he is at all. And all we're going to do is, like you said, go knock on their door.
We've come to the conclusion of a very historic Listen to Me. We are going to take a couple of weeks, days, the weeks, 2 weeks. We're coming back on the 28th of July. That will be our last July show before August, because August is when the primaries come and that's when the heavy. So we need to take our energy back. So we will not be back on the air for 2 weeks. We will be back on the air on the 28th. Vamos a estar 2 semanas libres y vamos a regresar el 28. So, mi hermano, vamos a coger una vacacioncita.
Un receso.
Un receso. ¿Qué tienes que decir antes de irnos?
No, nada, seguir apoyando justamente la visión conservadora y estamos en la recta final. Hay que seguir sumando voluntades.
Okay.
Bueno,
¿Y tú?
bueno, yo no creo que nos vayamos sin darle un saludo al partido de Chega allá en Portugal.
Sí,
seguro.
partido de Chega, yes, que, se va a convertir en parte del Hispanic Republican Organization. The Portuguese Chega Party, the conservative party in Portugal, is going to be one of our international chapters. So we have the whole country of Portugal, and probably the Dominican Republic too.
Un abrazo y hasta la próxima.
Y estén pendientes a mensajes de la vicepresidenta de HRO. The vice chair of HRO is going to be doing some very important. We're not going to be on the air, but she's going to be doing some very important Facebook lives because we're also going to be doing some humanitarian work. Vamos a hacer unos trabajos humanitarios para Venezuela. So estamos pendientes a eso. I love you guys, and remember, July 28th, we're going to be back with Listen to Me. All right.
Muy bueno.
Good.